Let's see if we're going live here. Just going. We got a comment already. So Lee, I think, was here before the stream even started. And Lee's giving a big you. Thanks for being punctual as ever there, Lee, man. You were here before me. So yeah, thanks for joining. Do you know, already this is the one thing I realized in last week's live stream that the comments weren't showing up as I was reading them out, which was my bad. There's a way that I can basically highlight them inside the software that I'm using to stream. So thought I'd throw that one up there. So yeah, Lee, first guy to comment on the live stream today. So thanks for that, buddy. Looks like we've got one or two other people joining already here. We're going out on Facebook and on YouTube again. The last week's live stream seemed to actually do quite well over the sort of when we were live, and then in the last couple of days afterwards. So yeah, as the title of the live stream today suggests, incoming snowstorm. I'll get into that. I'll talk about the conditions, talk a little bit about spring skiing, and then I'll update you guys again a little bit on some new features that are slowly rolling out across Bramski vlogs on the YouTube channel. And then I'll also talk about, I'll give you guys a bit of an update actually on permanent residency, for anyone who I know that kept on getting asked. But so I kind of took last week's live stream and looked at what some of the improvements that needed to be made. And yeah, first and foremost was showing the comments. One of the things was as well was the 1080p clips that when they just didn't seem to work. I've not figured out why they didn't. So going to have to hold off on the clips for now, but I will definitely come back to that. I'm just going to check actually as we're live here. Have we got the tags in? Yeah, looks like we got the tags in. So hopefully we get a couple more people join in and say hi. This is just a chilled out bit of a video for you guys. Looking to do that each week where we hang out, have a beer. Again, back on the cultures this week and just chat a little bit about skiing and answer any questions that you guys have. Trying to make it sort of as laid back as possible. One of the things I thought I liked about last week's live stream, we had like people joining from all over the world. We had some guys down in Australia that joined, some people here in Canada, in Revi, and then we had someone from New York who joined right at the end, which actually extended the live stream by about 10 minutes, which was nice, sort of rounded it off to a nice hour-long period. So yeah, well, the other thing I was going to mention was, I mean, the person who did join at the end had a question, reached out to me after the live stream and asked about the heli skiing video a bit more and what was, how much vertical I did and the names of the runs. So I'm gonna hold off for now and see if maybe if that person joins the stream later on. We'll see who else joins in. Whoever else does join in, feel free to say hi in the live chat there. And yeah, as you can see with Lee's comment here, I've figured out how to highlight it. So each comment will be getting a bit of a highlight there from me, and then I'll answer any questions. I guess one of the things I'll get into talking about the snow, because at the time I scheduled the live stream, there was a big snowstorm forecast across the weekend. They were saying that Monday was going to bring us 20 centimeters, hence the title of the live stream, Snowstorm Incoming. That has kind of changed a bit now. We actually had a surprise amount of snow last night. It ended up, we had 13 centimeters fresh snow last night, which actually made today some pretty awesome skiing. We had blue sky, so bluebird powder, and best skiing was probably found over in North Bowl and the Ripper side of Revelstoke. South side was quite windy over on the side there. Got in a sub peak hike, and it was a little tough going on there, but yeah. So initially we were due to get in 20 centimeters. That's now changed. It's going to bring 5 centimeters overnight tonight, and then it's forecasting 6 centimeters tomorrow. So it's kind of halved what we were supposedly getting, but the fact that last night was unexpected amounts of snow means that we could turn around and get, a boatload maybe. So we'll just have to see how it is when we wake up. But plan is to head out tomorrow and get some more skiing in. Working on a little bit of a video, hopefully get that out for Tuesday, just talking a bit about the end of the season, because it's fast approaching, which is kind of scary really when you think about it, because we're in the middle of March. But yeah, hopefully get that video out to you guys on Tuesday. This week, the conditions leading up to this weekend, it's been dry, cold, and icy. So all of that snow that we had over the last 2 weeks was basically scraped away. I headed up on the mountain on Thursday. Did 2 runs up there on my Solomon. They are mostly powder skis, but they can ride groomers pretty well. But there was nothing at all to sort of dig the edges into. It was just sheets of ice on the steeper runs. So it was a little tricky going. So the snow that we had last night came at just the right time. It's looking like this year is going to be the lowest year on record for snowfall since the records at the resort started. I mean, we just passed 700 centimeters for the season. The lowest total, based on the historical snowfall tracker, the lowest total there was 790 centimeters. Hey, Joseph, you've finally joined. Good to see you, mate. Joseph's been a long time follower of the channel. Can't stay long. Got work in 8 hours. Are you back in the UK now, Joseph? Because if you are, I imagine it's quite early in the UK right now. Thanks for joining, though, mate. Great to have you on here. Need sleep? Yeah, I bet you do. But I appreciate you making the effort to kind of join. Did how was your Les Arc trip? I know you. Went out there. What was the conditions like in Les Arc? Oh, it's midnight. Oh, props to you for joining then. Yeah, I forget actually tomorrow's Monday, isn't it? For you guys. So actually the clocks changed today as well, didn't they? So I think we lost, I don't know if we lost an hour or whatever, but yeah, I hope you had a good Les Arc trip there, Joseph. I don't know. I heard mixed things about Europe the last week. Some areas I think finally got some snow, and then some others, especially I think some of the lower resorts in France, look like they're on their last legs for the season now. Like I saw one picture, I think, of the lower slopes of Morzine, and like the only snow you could see was on the actual slope, but it was like limited. You know, we've got a couple of other people joining. It looks like we've got 4 people watching on YouTube right now. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Feel free to say hi in the chat there. I figured out how to highlight people's comments this week, so yeah, we'll stick that on there, and then I can address any questions that you guys have. Yeah, I was just talking before then about the conditions here in Revi, and you know, it's not been the best snow for us like at all really this year. The last couple of weeks have improved things a lot more and kind of given us a second lease of life, but we only just hit 700 centimeters season total the other day. So 790 is the on record lowest total. So, you know, a little over a month left. It was very sunny the first 3 days, then snowy for the last 3 days. So that was your trip in France. Well, that's good. You know, I guess you got a good balance of conditions then. Bit of a bit of spring sun, and then some powdery days, I bet. Was it busy? I can't. I honestly don't know if I've been to Les Arcs or not. I might have done years ago, but it's quite a big resort, I think, if I'm right there. Yeah, correct me on that, Joseph, if you're still there. So yeah, the forecast here in Revelstoke was for 20 centimeters tomorrow. That's now changed to about 10, and that's kind of been the story of the Revelstoke winter this year. Forecasting, and then last minute things change, and it just not as much turns up. We're actually starting. The rain has started to come back a bit on the lower altitudes, although we've had good cold conditions at nighttime. I think we might start to see a little bit more spring conditions on the lower mountains. Thanks, Matt. I'll stay for 10 minutes. Yeah, we had some powder days. Glad, man. Well, again, appreciate you hanging in there. And if you have any ski friends, feel free to bring them to these chats here, Joseph. Like I kind of want this to sort of be a cool little hangout where everyone can just sort of chime in and talk about things skiing. Doesn't matter whereabouts they are in the world. One of a guy I've had on the channel a few times, Simon Burgess, the UK snowboard vlogger. He's just about to. He got a day in at Yad Mos, one of the small ski hills in the UK, and yeah, he should get in a video out in the next few days. So yeah, just trying to get people like that and people like yourselves involved. So yes, I will do. Brilliant, mate. Yeah, please do bring them in. So yeah, I appreciate you joining in for a short time, and then hope you can get in some good sleep. Yeah. So yeah, so the spring skiing, we're getting, it's about a month left to the end of the season, which is yeah, I don't know where the season's gone. It's just flown by. Conditions on those lower runs, I think if we can keep that cold weather for a while, the groomers, the pisted runs are still going to be good. But when I came down today about 1:30, 2 p.m., we had that being said, what made you decide to stay? Thanks for commenting. From that being said, when you say what made me decide to stay, was that here in Revi? In Revelstoke, I mean. So I came to Revelstoke straight away on the 2-year visa. I'd heard about Revelstoke a couple of years ago. I think I'd watched a Solomon Freeski TV video where they covered the Heli Lodge, the Mica Heli Ski run, which is in the vicinity of Revelstoke in the Selkirks, and so I was kind of aware of the town. But at the time when I was getting the visa, it was still kind of like coming out of COVID restrictions, and Canada speculated, okay, you had to have a job offer to be able to come in on that visa. And so I kind of knew straight away I didn't want to go to a big ski town like a Whistler. I wanted to sort of go to a small town with big snow and hopefully a town with a bit of culture and community. And yeah, Revelstoke has got that in abundance. So coming out that last winter, and I decided I wanted to apply for my PR. I knew I had to get a full-time job, and so I've managed to find one in town, and yeah, I've been here since. It's been 18, 19 months. Thanks for asking that question. That being said, don't know if you're and you weren't that impressed with Niseko. I wouldn't say that I wasn't impressed. It was Niseko was a real nice change of scenery from doing the big European ski seasons. So when I went to Niseko, I'd kind of come out of working for the same company as a holiday rep for 2+ years. Wanted a change up in the industry. I wanted to try and sample a bit of working in the high end part of the ski industry, and so I went to Niseko in a property management company, and knew that Niseko had all of the snow. But actually, the year I went was like one of their lowest years of snow ever. But I mean, the hill was still incredible, like totally different. I love that. I love the sort of the whole Japanese ski style thing. It was this weird mix of still bits of you could see within the town of what was probably like modern infrastructure in the late 80s when they had the boom, but there was still there, mixed now with lots of real estate coming in, but still these dive bars on the corners of people's houses and underground. And I think for me, I didn't see any opportunities while I was in Niseko that were going to allow me to kind of build a life full time. I didn't really know what Niseko was like in the summer. I hadn't heard anything about that. Yeah, I was living in a big staff house when I was there as well, which wasn't great. And by the end of that winter, also you got to remember that COVID hit that year. So, yeah, so COVID hit during that season, and so quite early on, the bookings were starting to dry up. So I was thinking about being able to afford to live there for one thing, and there was no certainty of when things might pick up again or jobs, and so I just flew home. In hindsight, I should have stayed, but no one knew what was going to happen there. I know one or two of my colleagues who managed to stay, and Japan was like one of the few places that ended up keeping their ski hills open that year. But yeah, I mean, if that had gone on, I probably would have actually gone and done a winter in New Zealand after that, and it could have been a whole different kettle of fish. But if I hadn't have done that route, it wouldn't have brought me here. So, great question, mate. Thanks for asking that. Joe is out of here. thanks for joining, buddy. Yeah, Joe's joined over from the UK where it's currently midnight. So get some sleep, buddy, and see you in the next one with some friends. So thanks for that. Yeah, thanks for those questions. And anyone else who's got anything more, feel free to pop that in the chat. Yeah, so spring skiing here at Revelstoke, probably in the next few weeks on the lower mountains, is going to be pretty common. So by sort of after lunchtime, with a bit of sun on those, it's going to become a little bit harder, a little bit more sort of choppy and not slushy, but it's like a hard slush. I think unless we get a couple of more storms as we go into the end of March, we could probably end up downloading to wrap up the season. So if anybody doesn't know what that means, that would basically mean we'd be able to ski the top part of the runs, but we'd have to get the gondola down. I don't know, that maybe that might happen for the last week or so. It depends really what we get. I hope we're going to get some more storms, but it feels like we're getting a mixture of stuff over the next few days, so we don't know. Yeah, should get some snow due to start later on this evening. So hoping it isn't the 5 centimeters that's forecast now, and that actually we get like 20 or 30. Doesn't look like we've got anybody actually watching live on Facebook, but we've got 3 people watching on the YouTube channel. So hey to you guys, hope you've had a good weekend. Yeah, keen to know if anybody's been skiing this weekend. Where have you skied? What's that been like? Have you got any ski trips planned for the end of the season? So one of the things I was going to talk about as well was I was going to talk a little bit more about some of the features that I want to kind of roll out a little bit across the channel. I talked about it a little bit in the live stream last week, and I also just put a post up on the community posts tab earlier today. So this week, 2 milestones, hit 400 uploads, and also reached the threshold to apply for the YouTube partner program. So applied for that earlier this week and got accepted for the partner program. And you might have noticed if you've watched the shorts that there's a little option there which says super thanks. That's just there if anybody wants to say thanks in any sort of way. There's options that you can do. I'm still coming to grips with understanding it all, but yeah, feel free to click on that and have a look. What I'd really like to do with this live stream and some of the features around it is roll out a potential membership option. Still looking into that at the moment. reasons behind it is that I want to kind of turn the community that follow this group into a bit of a family with a closer connection. We can, share and talk things through mediums like this, through the live stream. And what the membership would do, there'd be a small fee to it, allowing you guys to sort of express any support to the channel through things such as like badges and custom emojis and shout outs. So I'm working on that at the moment, but I just want to keep you guys updated on that and be totally transparent with you. Been doing this for 6 years now, and it's very much my passion away from work, but sort of a lot of time has gone into it. So wanted to kind of give you guys different ways to show your support. But with that comes the opportunity for you guys to give me as much feedback as possible. So a couple of people have already sort of commented on that post I put up earlier saying that I wasn't going to put AdSense on. I kind of think it can quite easily deter people from watching videos. And shout out to Never Second Alias, who said he was still going to follow the videos regardless. So appreciate you for putting that comment in there. But again, just wanting to keep you guys in the loop with that. So we've definitely had Joseph from the UK watching. We had Lee, who popped a comment in early on here. Lee, I don't know where you were messaging from, or if you're still on the chat, but it'd be cool to, when you guys do pop a comment in, let me know where you're commenting from. If you've been hitting the slopes anywhere. I'm always interested to know what you guys have been doing and what your ski life looks like. I kind of get the feeling that maybe this live stream might not go on as long as last week's one, which is fine. It kind of will feed off the live involvement from you guys. So if there's obviously not too many on it, then I won't kind of try and flog it and sit here in silence until people do. The final thing I'll talk about, I was going to just update you guys on the permanent residency. So the latest with that is that I'm going down a particular, it's still on, I'm going down a particular different route right now, which I'm working on. So I've completed my educational credential assessment. That's sort of done now. That was about, it cost $280 to basically get my transcripts from my university in the UK, submitting them to an online portal, and for them to basically determine what its value is in the Canadian educational system. Then my next step is to go and take an English test for the residency application. So hoping to do that in the next 2 weeks or so. I'm going to have to travel down to Kelowna. So I'm working on some logistics from that at the moment. Like, it'd be nice if maybe I could get up to Big White for another day while I'm there. But we shall see if that's even possible. Like, even maybe I'd have to, I think the tests take place on a Friday, so I'd need to change days off and probably travel on a Thursday. So yeah, if I could get to Big White for a little bit as part of that trip, that'd be great. The work is supporting me a little bit with potentially a bridging visa. So that's not confirmed yet, but again, I will give out more information on that when there's more to come. But if anybody has any questions on my application, feel free to post them in the comments. I don't know if I talked about it on the stream last week, but I'm curious to sort of know if this is a suitable time to do these. I mean, I've gone live at 5 p.m. here at Revelstoke. My days off are Sundays and Mondays, so this kind of is quite comfortable for me, but I'm wary of all these people on different time zones from Australia and the UK. Also, if you're on the East Coast of America, I don't know what time it is, but some guy from New York joined right near the end of the stream last time. So when he joined, I don't even know what time that would have been in New York. So yeah, I mean, any feedback on that front, on the time zones, let me know, because I could easily say push this back an hour or two and say go live, I don't know, 6 p.m. or other way, like go earlier. Because I was down off the mountain by 2:30 today. So anyway, so that's I'll leave it here, guys. It looks like only a bit of a short live stream this week, but thanks to everyone who got involved with this one. To Lee, Joseph, and that being said, who all threw in a comment on YouTube there. If anybody is new to the channel, feel free to go and check out some of the other videos, and hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and yeah, I will see you guys next week. I'll definitely try and do another live stream on Sunday next week, so look forward to hearing from you guys. Keep an eye out for a new video midweek, and I will see you then.